Hey, boys and girls. It's time for Uncle Jay Explains the News. Now here's the guy who helps little minds understand big news stories, Uncle Jay.
Hi, boys and girls. Well, a lot of you have been asking about one particular thing in the news, so we're going to concentrate on that this week. And so Uncle Jay's special news word for this week is deficit. Now, this word is not pronounced deficit. Although, when I show you some of these numbers, some of you might... Okay, maybe you've already heard this word if you are having attention problems at school, and you might wonder why it's on the news, because the news never shows anybody going to the nurse's office after second period. So here's what it's about. Each year, the government earns a certain amount in taxes from, let me start that over. Each year, the government takes a certain amount in taxes, but they always spend more than they take. And the amount that they overspend is called the deficit. It's like this. Let's say you get $5 for your allowance, and you spend it on a complete home theater system with surround sound for everybody in your school, or let's say in your congressional district. Uh-oh, you spent more than you had. So what do? You borrow the rest from a credit card or 30 credit cards or China or Japan or everybody really, year after year, without ever really paying much of it back. It's a good thing you don't really do this. But guess who does? The government borrows to make up their deficit just about every single year. And the total dollars of all those years together, because did I mention that almost none of this ever gets paid back, is not called the deficit. It's called the national debt. Now, the B in debt is silent because you can't pronounce a B when your mouth is like this. The debt is now in the trillions of dollars, and soon it could be in the zillions, or buzzillions, or gazillions, or bugabuzillions. All of these numbers and numbers have left us feeling number and number, which is why America needed a stimulus, which we talked about in an earlier episode. But that's different, boys and girls, from the stimulant that a doctor might prescribe for you to make your get smaller. The stimulus prescribed by the government makes the deficit way bigger, and they say that's a good prescription, but that's a pretty tough pill to swallow. Aren't you glad your deficit is only about paying attention and not about you having to pay back all that money someday? Let's talk about that, boys and girls. However many mega giga terabada bing a zillion dollars the debt becomes, it does have to get paid off eventually in the future. And since the children are our future, the way Whitney Houston sang before she ruined hers, that means you owe all that money instead of us. Sorry. There's another reason for you to hate baby boomers, even more than for Stairway to Heaven and Free Bird. Sorry there's no time for your questions this week, but you can see more at www.unclejexplains.com. Check back every Monday when Uncle Jay explains the news. And remember, a great kid is great news.